Welcome to the corner, my culture comrades. Today's a big one. We got something that's really gonna pop for you, if you will. I go by Big Drip, aka Lord Overthink, aka 33 Cent, aka Blackie White, aka the realest one your mama ever heard of. To my left, as always, my preference, my friend, the Light Drizzle, aka Tech Savvy, aka Magic Man, aka Whitey White, aka my other 33 Cent. Can you holler at the people for me one time?
Whitey White?
I'm Blackie White, you're Whitey White.
Oh.
That was on the spot, by the way. That was right there and then I thought of that.
that was interesting. Hello world. How's everyone doing tonight? Today? Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are.
Konnichiwa, hola, hello.
I'm very thrilled for today.
Why? What we got going on today?
I don't know. Some nobody's gonna be
really
coming in. Some nobodies.
Oh wow, wow.
He's just nobody.
Yeah.
But speaking of nobodies,
you better not bring me up.
No. As a joke. Speaking of nobodies, so Mark Pellegrino is going to be joining us.
The devil himself.
The devil himself,
Oof.
or some would like to call him Jacob from Lost.
Did you feel a chill go down your spine when he said that? Because I did.
I yelled a little bit, and when he said yes, I yelled and screamed and wooed.
Did you sign a deal? You did a deal with the devil?
Yeah, Crossroads deal.
Oof.
To get him on the show.
I want to be a jazz singer.
So that's actually an episode in Supernatural.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Someone signs the deal, a Crossroads demon deal, to be famous jazz singer.
Yeah.
That's really right. Fucking creepy that you said that.
Well, no, because that's like the go-to.
Oh,
like
okay.
That's like...
There's a jazz song about it.
Yeah,
signing
exactly.
the deal with the devil.
Exactly. Yeah. And if you like go back into the day, they'll say like before we had like, clear, concise records of everything, like, the early 40s and stuff like that. Famous musicians, people would like, because they'll come seemingly out of nowhere, right? They're from like some small farm town, you never heard of them, and then a week later, he's the biggest jazz singer in the country,
right.
So
that actually makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. But no, yeah, today, Darkseid himself joins us, Mr. Ray Porter, who's also been, he's not just Darkseid, right?
No,
So,
he's been in a lot. But because
sweet.
we're just, huge nerds, geeks, and dorks around here, Darkseid, we call him Darkseid because that's huge. That's huge.
Yeah, he's definitely huge. It's fun for us. We're super happy. We've had this planned for quite some time now.
Yeah.
So the day has finally come.
It took forever,
the
but it's here.
The day has finally come. And this is our last
episode. Yeah.
So technically, yes. So we're gonna be doing a show tomorrow as well with Film Junkie.
Yes.
Dave Pena, and I guess that technically counts as the last one.
Yeah.
But
this is our last episode.
Yes.
So we still have more content for you guys because that's what we do around here.
Yes. And who knows? I just talked to Lightcast yesterday, and we're gonna set something up for him and Matt and Taylor to join us in December.
Great. Awesome.
So we've got a lot coming for you. For you.
Matt was a lot of fun. A lot of insight coming from Matt and from the way he describes Taylor. There's also a lot of insight coming from him. So I would love to get the both of them on the show. Get their opinions.
They're a good dynamic.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
what we hope to be.
Yes.
Or what we will be.
Yes. I guess it's a matter of when rather than
exactly.
if.
Not if, when. Exactly.
Not too much crazy. Again, so I heard this rumor, right? So Linda Carter could potentially be in Flashpoint.
I heard that.
And I ran it by Matt.
Yeah.
Because it's Matt.
Yeah.
So I ran it by him, and he didn't know anything about it. So, but he said it's not crazy, right?
Yeah.
It's with the direction they're going.
Yep.
That could definitely be a real thing.
Yep.
However, it hadn't come across his plate yet.
Yeah.
So
I'm hoping that I hope they don't use Flashpoint as an excuse to just, throw a bunch of nostalgia, if you will, at us, because with Michael Keaton and Linda Carter, and then possibly, maybe we'll see Brandon Ruth. I don't want that. I want Flashpoint. I want that storyline. I don't want if it's just a bunch of cameos, a bunch of nods. Like for example, Flash, he's running through the Speed Force and he breaks through time. Accidentally, he doesn't know what he's doing, so he accidentally pops up in Linda Carter's timeline, right? It's a quick cameo. Hey, how you doing? Oh, shit, I'm not supposed to be here. He leaves. I'm cool with that. But, if the whole movie's story plot line is just him...
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
I don't think so. I don't think it'll be like that.
I don't either.
I think... I honestly, I think that the Keaton cameo... will be a cameo.
Yes.
And I don't think he'll stay in Tim Burton's Gotham too long.
Oh, really?
I don't.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
I think he might pull Keaton out.
Yep.
If he needs him.
Yep.
Because, for that reason.
Yep.
But the Linda Carter thing, if that's true, that'll just be a stop amongst his Speed Force travel.
Yeah.
I don't think there'll be, she won't be picking up a page full of lines or a full script.
Yeah.
Just for a slight cameo as a nod to fans. Because she's great, right?
Yeah, but what purpose does
she serve really? In the overall storyline?
Keaton does serve a purpose because, older Bruce Wayne, he holds weight in comics and Flashpoint and Terry McGinnis and all that. Like, an older Bruce Wayne... There actually is plot lines that you can use him for. There's story arcs that you can pull inspiration from, things like that. There's really no reference point for an older Wonder Woman, right? Like a future Wonder Woman. There's really,
Kingdom Come.
Yes, yeah, Kingdom Come, or I was gonna say the Justice Lords, but likelihood of that is slim to none.
No. I agree. I'd be okay with just a cameo.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Hey, everybody, she exists.
Yeah. Hey, I'm Linda Carter.
Yeah.
See you later.
See ya. You know what I rewatched last night? Solo, a Star Wars story.
I haven't even watched that yet.
Honestly, it's not bad. Everyone hates on it. I've watched it before.
Yeah.
But I wasn't for some reason I've been in this mindset to go back and watch movies.
Yep.
That maybe I didn't care for the first time around. I actually got the idea from Matt.
Yeah, because give it a second chance.
Yeah, he's been doing that on Twitter and he's vocal about it.
Yeah. And
so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go watch Solo.
Yeah, maybe I should hop on that train.
It's the Chewbacca and it's great.
Yeah.
The new guy.
Yep.
The new guy. I don't remember who plays him, but the new guy who does Chewbacca does a fantastic job. And I wouldn't mind seeing more of it. And there's no reason that Han Solo story couldn't pop up in Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Mandalorian Chapter 13 has been highly, highly regarded as the best episode to date.
You said that last time.
This one, that was my personal pick, but Ahsoka Tano shows up, and she looks...
Oh, she shows up in this one, huh? Okay.
I'm not even kidding. They pulled her right from it.
Yeah,
the hair
cool.
thing, piece.
Yeah, no, that's her...
I'll get a picture of her.
That's part of her.
But
I don't know what you call them.
It looks animated in Mandalorian, too.
She's a fan favorite, too. I liked her in Clone Wars, so... She was a great character in Clone Wars. Big fan favorite. Anakin, if anybody doesn't know who she is, she's Anakin Skywalker's Padawan.
So check her out.
Oh, wow. Yeah, she does. Yeah, very much on point.
Very much on point. It's got the little spikes and stuff at the top.
Yeah, very much on point.
She did a great job. So that, you know what I mean? How it still looks animated, but real.
Yep.
They did a great job.
Yeah.
And she's savage.
Yeah.
She's wielding the double lightsabers, slicing heads off and stuff.
Does she have one blue and one green?
No,
she did in Clone Wars.
They were both white.
Yeah,
maybe.
Interesting. Well, she was still a Padawan at the time of Clone Wars, so this is from what the picture looks like. She seems to be a full-grown Jedi at this point.
I didn't even know she had two different colors.
She did.
I'm colorblind, but
in Clone Wars, she had one blue and one green.
Maybe they weren't white, and I'm just saw something.
There's a possibility because I've never heard of white lightsabers, but you never know. I have this weird thing with Star Wars. Like, I love the lore and the idea behind it. Magical space wizards fighting a war out in the galaxy. I love the idea, but none of the movies ever hit like ever. Even when I was a kid, I didn't like the movies, but I watched Clone Wars. I love that show. I love the video games. I read some of the short books. Yeah, so they are actually white.
Is that white?
Yeah, they're white.
Okay.
They are white. Or they look like a very light blue, but you're not. It's not your eyes messing with you. They do look white.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've read some of the books and the comic series that Marvel has going on at the moment. Those are fantastic, but the movies, I don't know. They just never really hit. The closest thing that I really enjoyed was Rogue One and The Force Awakens. That's it. The rest of the movies did not hit for me. The Mandalorian, like, I don't dislike it, but I don't like it either. It's not something I would go out of my way to watch, but it's also not something I would suck my teeth if I got stuck watching it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I like the lore and the games more than anything else.
Yeah, that's okay. Everyone has their preference.
Star Wars is a very interesting thing like that, you know?
Yeah.
So big.
It was hard for me because, and I've said this before, I didn't care for Star Wars for a long time.
Yeah.
Right? My buddy Nick Fulgoni actually made me sit down and watch it one day, and he gave me like a rundown before on how to go into it.
Yep. Which one?
The original 3 and the second 3.
Okay.
And I went into it with a different mindset, and I found a love for it.
Okay.
However, they are hard to watch.
You watched all of those in one sitting?
No.
Oh, I was going to say, you're a trooper.
We did three per day.
Okay. That's like 2 days worth of movies right there.
And then I caught up in time to go see The Force Awakens when it was coming out.
Yeah. See, I did something very similar, but I did it by myself. And I went through the originals.
They're hard to watch.
Yeah, I got through New Hope, like, with only slight cringe. I got through Empire Strikes Back with no cringe, but no enjoyment either. Just very monotone, right? Return of the Jedi, I tapped out. I was like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I don't know if it's like I've become spoiled with modern day CGI and visual effects.
It's exactly what it is.
Yeah, it probably is. But like, well, no, I can't.
It's the same reason I didn't care for it.
I can't say that though.
You can see things on like strings and stuff.
I preferred practical over CGI though. I just don't think. I don't know. The line delivery isn't very good. I don't know. I think it's really like you had to be there for the time, right? Like you had to experience it.
Yeah.
At that time, you know, like
guys or as like us, a kid when you could spend all belief.
Exactly, you know, guys like us that have been doing this and we, you know, watching crazy out there movies our entire lives. It's hard to like enjoy it, you know,
because that's the same. Like I said, that's the same reason I had a tough time going back. And I remember, ready? So, the first 3 we sat down and watched together, and then the next night I was working an overnight, and I put the second 3 on, and like I had to slap myself through it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just, it was hard for me to get through it.
Yep.
Luckily, the prequels are a little bit better with the visuals.
Yeah.
But they still look like bad cartoons.
They do. And arguably, they look worse because the originals are using practical to their best efforts, you know, and unless they really have to, they're trying to do practical. But the prequels are just all balls to the wall with the CGI, and CGI just wasn't there yet. Not for that full-scale kind of deal they were going for, you know?
George Lucas has always been, his stories have always been ahead of what the technology was capable of.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And then he didn't do what James Cameron did, which James Cameron waits until... So he'll write a story and be like, yep, technology doesn't have what I need yet.
Yep.
So he'll wait for that technology to come out.
Let me store it away. Yep.
Like Avatar. He waited so long to make Avatar
Yep.
because he knew that it wasn't going to be good until he could get...
Which is a smart move of him.
It is. It's a very smart move.
Absolutely. If you can't do the practical and the technology isn't there yet, well, just pump the brakes. You know, it's not going anywhere. You'll always have the story, right?
Everyone's eager to be the next big thing, right?
Yep.
And so I do want to go over. We've already cut enough time. So I want to go over a couple of things about Rey. So Rey has several credits on IMDb. We were going through them beforehand.
Yeah.
We've been going over them past month. I just want to read a couple to you that are relevant.
More notable ones.
Yeah.
You guys might recognize.
So he's credited as Darkseid in Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Oopses.
He's credited. So he was in The Sandman, which is another DC property.
Yes. Yep, I am aware.
Yep. He was in Modern Family.
Love that show.
The Mentalist. Shameless.
Another good show.
Argo.
Good movie. Curious George. I love it.
Medal of Honor. Sons of Anarchy. Lost. He was in a couple different things. So he was in an epilogue that never actually it never actually got aired. But he was also in...
Really?
Yes.
I know that.
He was also in a couple episodes of Lost other than that. He played as Hessler in Justified. In BioShock 2, which is a video game, he voiced Mark Meltzler.
I'm not... I'm familiar with the game. I'm not sure specifically who that character is.
He was Cherry from Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Excellent show.
Yeah. And he was in Southland. And then the list goes on and on and on.
CSI.
Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. Medium, Bible Battles, The Trap, The Last Stand of the 300, which is a TV documentary.
It seems like he did a lot of biblical kind of stuff, a lot of Christian TV kind of...
Monk.
Monk.
Southland. So yeah, he's been in so much. The guy's a wealth of knowledge when it comes to certain things.
Yep.
And today we're going to be talking about his time on the set of Justice League.
Yep.
We'll try to get some questions in about his other roles.
Because he's, there's only so much he can release, and we don't want to put any kind of like pressure, because it's that I believe it to be like rude and disrespectful to kind of, somebody's nice enough to come on the show and then you just kind of
bombard them.
Yeah, bombard is a good word. You bombard them with questions that they have to like.
And they know that they can't answer them. Yeah.
You got to think whether or not he can answer them. Like, that's not cool.
And people try to like trick you.
Yeah,
like
that's not cool.
Reporters try to trick people into answering questions they shouldn't.
Yeah.
So they'll phrase them certain ways.
Yep.
And like.
Yep. Trying to throw them off, trying to trick them.
Yeah.
See, we're not about that around here. We don't, that's how you like discredit yourself.
Yeah.
That's how you get word of mouth that you shouldn't work with us, So that's not what we're going for here.
Not at all. We want to promote a fun environment.
Yeah.
A laid back
environment.
Yeah, laid back, likable. Yeah. Somewhere where you don't have to come on and like worry about saying the wrong thing, because then we're gonna write an article about it.
Yeah. I don't want to have that poor man breaking a sweat every time we ask him a question. Oof, how should I answer this one?
Yes.
He has to call his lawyer.
With that being said, Justice, you want to take us out?
Of course. Listen, beautiful people, real quick. Our GoFundMe is still up for a couple more days. Please, for God's sake, donate. It's for a good cause. It's for suicide prevention, in honor of the fact that we dedicated this month to Zack Snyder and his DCEU run. We found it appropriate that we would throw a suicide prevention GoFundMe page. So please, by all means, donate 50 cents, $1, $10, $20, sharing the message. Whatever you can do, please do it, for God's sakes. We're running out of time with this, but I believe that we'll do it again in the nearby future, just to raise money for a good cause. That being said, Ray will be here in a moment.
Woo!
Stay tuned. Welcome back, beautiful people. So, all right, guys, I'm over here. I'm shaking. I'm nervous. I'm anxious. It's a big one. It's our grand finale. Mr. Ray Porter, a.k.a. Euxis, a.k.a. Darkseid. Ray, may you
hello
up to the people.
How you doing? Hello, Boston. And the world.
And the world, yes. So I guess we'll start off. I think I heard him say something earlier about it, but I'm loving the shirt.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. And unfortunately my brain is on Saturday time, and I can't remember the artist, but there's an artist on Twitter who he did comic book versions of the preview, and I loved it. And I wrote to him, I was like, man, that's amazing, incredible. He let me know that on Teespring, maybe
I think
the
it's
website, but he's got the shirts, but he's also got prints of it as well. So I bought a shirt.
yeah.
Nice.
I do. I'm digging out.
I
and
dig it. It's really
uh,
cool.
Absolutely.
And I love so this interpretation of Darkseid.
Yeah.
They've Zach definitely took some things from like straight from the comic, but also put his own twist on it. As you can see, the Omega symbol's actually part of his body, which I
Yes.
thought was really, really cool. And it gives that, it's a part of him, which I really loved. And so the first thing I guess we want to ask is, how was it to work with Zach? Because I call myself his number one fan. However, I think everyone else does too. How was that?
Well, I'll tell you, I might fight you for that number one fan status. I think probably every other actor who's ever worked with him would too. Zach is an incredible director. As an actor, you are you're given a safe place to be creative and to enjoy the work. And I mean, aside from the fact that Zach is fundamentally a good man, it all kind of comes together. It all kind of feeds in together. Being on set, everybody's very excited. Everybody's very happy to be there and excited about what's going on. And nobody's more excited about it than Zach. And it's contagious, I mean, really, after a very short time working with him, as a director, I was like, God, I'd follow that dude into anything, and I think most actors you talk to feel the same way. I mean, Ray Fisher and I were commiserating about how great he is and how great it is to work with him. Just technically as an actor, there's a few things that you like to have from a director. Not like there's a list, but when a director is really doing all of this stuff right, you're like, man, this feels good. This is really, we're going to get some good work done. Zach is always like that, consistently 100%, always. I've said it before, I would work with him under any circumstances.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
Yeah.
And I think that speaks for the, why the movement has grown so much and why people, not just fans, but actors in the film or actors that aren't in the film have, said release the Snyder Cut, because they do know they've either worked with them in the past or, want to work with them in the future because he's so highly regarded amongst, Hollywood, the Hollywood crowd.
Yeah. Well, there's layers to it. Zach as a director is he challenges his audience. He brings you into the world and has you think. He asks something. Bring your brain, bring your heart. It isn't all just served up on a silver platter. It isn't easy to chew. I mean, his stuff is a challenge, and rightly so. And that's the kind of stuff you want as an audience member. It's going to the theater. That's the kind of play that I want to see. That's the sort of movie I want. That's the kind of book I want. That's the music I want. I want stuff that challenges me a little bit, asks something of me. And I think Zach does that incredibly well.
Well said.
All the while giving you a damn good movie and telling a really good story. So
yes. So we were talking about this a little bit beforehand. So
yeah,
how does it feel to be in a room with Batman and Superman and be the one that they're afraid of? Like you're the guy that they're, a little bit hesitant. And
yeah. Well, I mean, I can tell you, when I was shooting my stuff, I was separate, that happens. Like scenes will happen here and here, and then it's put together and that sort of thing. But I happened to be on set when Batman and Superman were there, and your mind, at least for me anyway, you don't think, wow, there's Ben in a really cool looking Batman suit. You think, oh my God, it's Batman. Wow. You turn into a 9-year-old, or at least I do.
No, I would as well.
Gal Gadot is an incredible person and so striking and just amazing. And then when she's in her Wonder Woman costume, it's like, that's Wonder Woman.
Yes.
There is no, So, yeah, in the back of my mind, seeing them and going, they're scared of me. But I didn't, obviously.
Yeah. Was that?
Yeah, it's cool.
Was that your first time doing motion capture?
Do you know that was my first mocap? Yes, I had auditioned for mocap for like video games and that sort of thing, but that was actually my very first mocap and face capture. And it was a different experience, I can tell you. You have to make some adjustments as an actor because usually, costume, lights, set, you're the world and everything. And with mocap, you really kind of need to fill in the world for yourself as an actor to make it all real,
Interesting.
So yeah, it was a good experience. It was fun.
Yeah. So you saying, you were talking about the work environment and just, how do I word this? How uplifting and how, there's just good, positive vibes all around. Right. And, you have the motion capture suit on, the whole nine. Right. I personally would not be able to keep a straight face with it on. Right. So
if you saw me in a motion capture suit, you wouldn't be able to keep your lunch. I don't know about keeping a straight face, but this is not a visual anyone wants.
Well, so, I give you the utmost respect because, yourself, Ray Fisher, oh my God, I'm drawing a blank. Steppenwolf.
Kieran.
Thank you. I just give you the utmost respect because, you got to give it to everybody, honestly, because you're in the suits. The suits look silly off camera. Let's be honest, right? They look silly. So
they look different.
They give a captivating, fearful. You're Darkseid, right? You got to be.
Well, now I got to tell you. I mean, as far as respect and props, all respect goes to Ray Fisher because Ray Fisher hung out as Cyborg, wearing that sort of motion capture suit, while everybody else is in their full regalia, and was there and doing it. And I mean, my hat's off to him.
Yeah.
Knowing that your look is yet to be completed and yet still doing the work that he did, and he's such a good actor.
We would love, as the duo that we are, we have such respect for him, and I mean everything that's going on behind the scenes. I hope that there's still, that Ray's still a part of this. Long
going into the future.
Well, I hope. I hope there is a future. That this isn't just it, as far as Justice League goes, and I think that it's been pretty well proven that if the fans want something, they can get it done. So, if there's something you want, off you go. Get it done,
So, Ray, could you do me a favor and just explain how do you get into the right mindset? You go into this, right? And again, like I said before, you're all buddy with everybody. Everybody's good vibes, positive. How do you get yourself into the mindset of being a villain?
Because I'm not wrong and I'm not bad. I'm not doing bad things. Villains never think they're the bad guy.
That is very, very true.
Villains think they're right. Villains think their cause is just.
Yeah.
I
love that you said that. That's awesome.
They have a goal. How they go about getting it, I mean, obviously can raise some eyebrows. Yep. We all know people who have made some moral sacrifices in order to get done what they want, to achieve what they want, but a villain never, an interesting villain never goes, I'm bad, and that's lame.
Twirls the mustache.
Yeah. Wow.
This is Darkseid. I mean, this is what I do.
Yeah. I love it. I've always said morals are subjective. They are.
Well, for some people they are. Yeah. There are some people that, some people have a moral compass. Some people have heard of one.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. Well said.
Funny story. So, when I had first got word of you as Darkseid, years ago now, I was like, Ray Porter. Now, where do I know him from? And I was thinking, So from our generation, I'm 27,
24.
and he's 24. So I saw you in Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. So
Of
that's
course.
right now that's running purely. I don't know about for him, but I couldn't find
That's
any
so funny.
specific clips. So I'm running off memory here because I grew up watching that show. So I couldn't find the specific clips, but I do have the vague memory of you being on the show.
Yeah, there was I'm trying to imagine I'm on a plane.
Yeah.
That thing. Now, funny story. The woman who played the mother on that show, Kim Rhodes, who went on to other things in Supernatural as the sheriff and all of that, is one of my oldest and dearest friends. I've known her since before you guys were born. She's a very, very dear friend, and so it was so much fun to be on her show.
Doing
it. It was great.
Yeah,
Kim.
Awesome.
So I've asked Kim a couple times because Supernatural. I'm a diehard Supernatural fan. I actually just got Mark Pellegrino to come on. We're gonna be
cool.
Yeah, so I'm gonna work it with him, and we'll figure out a day in December. But before Mark, I was trying to get in touch with Kim because I'm in love with her character in Supernatural because she embodies that motherly spirit who's also kind of badass, and she's awesome. She's awesome.
And she is for reals a badass. So one of my dearest friends.
That must be a great feeling to go on set and have such a dear, close friend. Like that must, bring the tension down, bring the nerves down.
It does. It definitely frees you up. I mean, it's funny being, guests. I've said this before, being a guest on a long established TV show in LA is a lot like, imagine you just met somebody and they invite you, you've been going out for about 2 weeks and they invite you to their family reunion.
Right.
You don't know anybody. They all know each other. You're kind of the stranger, but you're in with the group somehow in a little bit. It's a very weird sort of feeling. It's not unpleasant.
Yes.
But it's weird.
I get the analogy. Okay.
And so to be on there with Kim was great. And also just to the opportunity to support your friend's work and to show respect to your friends by assisting in making a good show, that's all and everything.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
You've been a part of so many projects, whether it's Argo, Almost Famous. Yeah, very Justified. I believe. Yeah. Lost, especially. You were in Lost, correct?
I was in it's kind of a weird thing. I guess you could say I was in Lost.
It was an epilogue.
It was the additional material on the DVD. It was the epilogue. New Man in Charge, I think they called it. It was very cool. That was my first trip to Hawaii. I'd never been to Hawaii before.
There you go.
Right.
They flew me to Hawaii and it was beautiful. And I stayed in Waikiki at a lovely hotel and we filmed in a warehouse. Could have shot this in Burbank, but okay.
Yeah, right.
No.
Yep. Free trip to Hawaii. I'll take it.
But out of all the things that you've been a part of, I believe you have 44 credits on IMDb. What was your most memorable role? Portrayal.
That's tough. There's I have really, really great, really fun memories from pretty much everything I've done. For me, it's always been really important to hold on to the joy of getting to do this work, whether that be in the theater or a TV show or any of that, or a film. It's about noticing and enjoying, how cool it is that, you get to do these things. I always wanted to be on Star Trek just so I could geek out about being on Star Trek.
Yeah.
I still get a shiver, every time I pass Paramount, that classic Paramount gate, it's like, whoa, and going in there to work is like amazing. and I have, I have really good stories and really fond memories of everything that I've done.
Great.
You know, a lot of fun. I mean, Sons of Anarchy, I got to hang around motorcycles and shoot guns all day, and they paid me.
And they paid
Can't beat it.
And they paid me.
Can't beat it.
You know, obviously working with Zach is a high point without question. And you have to understand, working with Zach and working on the film was a high point in my career, even before I knew it was ever going to get seen. You know, I learned about the changeover in director and hence being cut from that particular version of the movie.
Right. Which we did want to talk about a little.
Well, you know, but I still, I still was like, yeah, but I got to do that. You know, I got to work with Zach, and I got to. I mean, it's always been about holding on to the positive for me as much as possible.
Exactly.
And then obviously when it was coming out, you know, I was like, cool. You know,
hey, that's a very respectable attribute of yours. I can tell just even before you specifically said it, I could tell throughout this conversation, you have a very optimistic point of view of things in a very
what's the point otherwise, man? What's the point otherwise? There's enough in the world to get upset about and be sad about. If you get to do something that you love and you don't take the time to really notice it and appreciate it, then you're only halfway there. You know, you have to have joy in what you do. Otherwise, what's the point?
Yeah,
quote of the day.
And so how was working on Sandman?
So great. Oh,
yeah,
that was great. We were in London, and obviously it's pre-COVID, so there was, you know, a bunch of us crammed into this audio studio at Audible Studios in London.
Yes.
My friend Dirk Maggs, who is an audio producer, I mean, a legend, and Neil Gaiman was there, which was super cool. I got to chat with him, and
that's amazing.
Got to play Beelzebub to Michael Sheen's Lucifer. That was, you know, phenomenal. I mean, I did somewhere between 9 and 14 roles on Sandman. I can't quite remember. And just the variety of it.
Wow.
Yeah. But also just being in the room with these other actors who are absolutely incredible. And they're not names that are, you know, these are not household names. And I always try to remind people that, like, some of the most talented people in the world you've never heard of.
Absolutely.
You know, because their work has taken them in a different direction, you know, or whatever. But the performances sorry, I'm getting an echo. The performances in Sandman, I think, are second to none. And when I went back and listened to it after Dirk worked his magic with the audio, I have to say I'm incredibly proud of having been a part of that. I kind of hope that there's more and that I get to do more.
That would be awesome.
Absolutely.
We're definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah. It's fun. I mean, audiobook narration is a little weird because I'm sat here in this dark little sort of pillow fort I've built all on my own. And I don't get to work with actors, which is sad because, I mean, working with other actors can be one of the greatest experiences ever. You know,
camaraderie,
funny and exciting, and you know, the camaraderie, obviously, and all of that. But yeah.
So that actually leads me into my next question. I was gonna ask you because you're a man of such range, you know. So what is your preference? Voice acting, narrating, or actually acting on camera?
I like acting with other people.
Okay.
I really do. Okay. I mean, I love narration, and I'm really, really pleased that I get to narrate books. I'm incredibly grateful and happy that I get to do that. But I do like working with other actors in the room, you know, because like somebody does something that's really brilliant and you're like, wow, cool. And you're literally playing together.
Yeah.
So rather than it being an individual endeavor, you're fed by the excellence of others, and you get to contribute to it. And it's a lot more fun, I will say.
Well put.
Very well put. Now, when did you, when in your life did you know that this was the career that you wanted? Was it, always, or?
I sort of grew up in the business. My grandfather was affiliated with Ringling Brothers Circus. My mother was actor, singer, dancer on Broadway and all over the country. And I always knew about it. I wasn't going to do it. In high school, obviously, you have all these people telling you like, you have to do this, or what are you going to do, or think about your future. Or my personal favorite,
Yeah.
the decisions you make now will affect you for the rest of your life.
Which they don't.
They just don't. But I was going to do something else. And then I went and I saw a production of a George Bernard Shaw play. And there was something about that production, something about what the actors did, just something about that show. I walked out and went, I want to do this. This is what I want to do. So I went to Cal Arts, and got a degree in acting, and then worked at the Oregon Shakespeare Festival from like 1990 until 2008. And in between, in the off seasons, I was coming down to LA and picking up TV shows and movies and and stuff like that. And I'm very proud, but also really grateful to say that for a really long time I've paid the rent and kept food on the table by doing this. And that's not everybody gets that. And I feel very fortunate.
Absolutely.
I think that's the goal, right? Is
yes.
I mean, you've heard it, right? So I think I've heard it from every person's grandfather and everyone. If you do something you love every day and you get paid for it, then you don't truly work.
Yeah, you never work a day in your life. Yeah, absolutely.
You're winning. Yeah, that's you win,
and that's
it.
I think that's what we're trying to do. We still go to work every day, but we're trying.
Oh no, make no mistake. I mean, when I was starting out, especially like right after college, I had some interesting jobs, but it's a means to an end. You have to be able to feed yourself. You have to be able to keep the lights on and
yes,
live indoors if possible. And that's getting harder and harder and harder as time goes by. And it'd be really nice if a few things would change for people.
Yeah.
Because even now, I mean, I grew up, being told you get a college degree and then you're fine. And that's not really true.
Yeah, no, that's not the case at all.
Not really true.
At all.
So, if you can find the thing that you enjoy and do it, and it's your job, that's marvelous.
Exactly.
But even if you aren't doing the job you want, there's opportunity to do the things that you want, i.e., get a podcast going or write, or there's ways, and especially now, man, there's so many more ways for creative people to have an outlet than there was back in the day.
Yeah, it's almost overwhelming, Ray. Honestly, the sheer number I see of people just like us, it honestly is. There's almost this like pressure because, like we've been talking about this whole time, you want to succeed, right? We want to be able to make this profitable so we can put all of our time and attention into it. But there's so much competition, right? To be on point and to be original and be unique about it is, it's a little scary, honestly.
Challenging. It's challenging, but
like a challenge.
Persistence. I mean, there's a hell of a lot of actors out there too.
That's very true. That is very true. Absolutely.
Can I ask you? Can I ask you a question that? So this is nothing to do with the Snyder Cut or anything like that. But if you could play a character in the Marvel world.
In the Marvel world.
Yes, in the Marvel world. Who would you pick and why?
Oh, that's tough. There's a lot of really good characters in the Marvel world.
As long as you don't say Thanos, we're good.
No, because Josh Brolin nailed it.
He killed it.
I'm sorry. I mean,
he killed it.
He really did.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's done. Thanos is taken care of now.
Yes.
Boy, I don't know. That's a really, really good question. I mean, I'm thinking of like 5 or 6 different characters spring to mind, and they all have their virtues. It would be tough. I love Marvel's sense of irreverence, especially of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. all of that stuff. It just like,
Yeah.
But I mean, how can I say I'd like to play this role when like so-and-so already did it so beautifully and so wonderfully? I mean, I can't touch that.
Yeah.
Correct.
So I think Marvel needs to come up with, a really hairy and yet well-spoken older actor character, and then I'll audition.
Right.
Ray, can I give you my 2 cents? So it's funny you bring up Guardians. So for me, I would pick you for either Galactus or Ego, one or the other, preferably Galactus. I think you would do very well.
That'd be very fun. That'd be very fun.
You would do very well with that. I think you have a good way of how do I word this? You personify godlike beings, I think you have a good song for that. Obviously, that's why you were chosen as Darkseid, So I think Galactus would be a good fit. And
the next time I get a parking ticket, I'm gonna say that very phrase. But I personify godlike beings. See what they say.
I'm sure the judge would let you go. If I was the judge,
I'm sure he will. Yes,
I'd let you go.
Thank you, man.
Of course.
No, but I think it's always fun. I've heard a couple fan castings for what you and Galactus. Sorry.
Sorry, man.
That went down the wrong pipe.
As long as it's not Corona.
No, it's not. Galactus was actually
one of them. Yeah.
The top fan cast for Ray Porter.
Wow.
Amongst a Twitter group. So,
how funny.
Yes.
I didn't know that. That's super cool.
Yeah. So, but that's really ironic.
Well,
that.
All right, fan casters, let's go.
Kevin Feige. Let's go.
What's really funny to me? Ray, you're probably one of the genuinely nicest guys I've ever talked to.
Oh, thank you.
Like all the fan casting is for you to play villains. You're so genuinely nice, but we want you to be,
But villains are fun, man. Villains are fun to play.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So with the Snyder Cut, and when I wanted to talk about it earlier was, so what happens is you film all this wonderful material, a tragedy strikes, and things really like change quickly and develop out of your hands, and it's above your pay grade, so to say.
Way above my pay grade. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And then, whatever happens, the theatrical cut comes out, and did you watch the theatrical cut?
I don't want anybody to read into this more than what it is. I didn't. And the reason why I didn't was because I don't know. I just didn't want to sit and watch. I prefer Zach's vision, and I didn't want to sit and wonder what would have been.
Yeah,
that's fair.
I think so. For me, and I'm gonna speak for you as well. So when we came out of the theater, it was the heart and soul was gone of the film, and and I think if it had went down differently, I'm not sure as much good would come out of it. So I think fate did have, in some twisted, weird way, so much good has come from the Snyder Cut movement and the people that have gotten behind it. Obviously, it all starts with something that we wish never happened. But the things that have come from this movement and the way it's unified people. We were talking to the nerd queens, Cole and Nana, which did Justice Con, and they were talking about sitting in line at Comic-Con, and no one was talking to each other. Is this camp. No one was really intermingling, and it was all selfish vibes going on. And they started their T-shirt giveaway for Snyder Cut. Release the Snyder Cut, and that's when it got big. And everyone was then talking and having fun.
There was it seemed like I don't know, and I don't know a lot of my of the fan history, because I kind of came late to the game as far as like what the fandom was and is and what the upshot was. But it seemed to me that generally there was discontent over what had happened, and it seemed like there were a few different shoots coming up of like, we want the Snyder cut. It was when it finally all got sort of unified that things really started to sort of take off. Part of the reason why, you know, in some of my, I guess, less than positive tweets have been in response to weird little infighting within the fandom and stuff, which is so completely unnecessary. First of all, I don't know why I'm being tagged. Like, I'm going to come down to the basement and be like, you kids behave yourselves. I have no skin in that game at all. I'm just grateful to everyone for, you know, I mean, think about it. Nobody knows who the hell I am, right?
I do.
And well, thank you. But, you know, back in the day, like back in that time, you know, I'm under an NDA. I can't say anything. Somebody high up leaks that I played the role. I still couldn't actually come out and acknowledge it. But I never got any, you know, well, who the hell is this dude? He doesn't look like any. Oh, nah. I mean, there was one or two comments, you know, that were a little hurtful, but for the most part, everybody just sort of welcomed me.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when I saw that positivity, when I saw the amount of money being raised for suicide prevention, that positivity, when I saw all of these people using their powers for good, that's when I became truly inspired. That's what I think makes this fandom really, really singular. I'm incredibly grateful to everybody within the fandom. Right. But, you know, when people start getting into like origin stories of who started what and who did this, and to me, it's like, to what end? Why?
Yes.
The movie's coming out and a huge amount of money and awareness has been raised for suicide prevention.
Right.
You did good. There doesn't need to be, you know, status or whatever. I love the Nerd Queens and they're friends, you know, and I love what they've done. And I've got my Justice Con shirt. I thought about wearing my Justice Con shirt today, but it needs to be.
I like your choice. Yeah, I like your choice.
Well, I need to wash the Justice Con shirt. Well, no, mad respect to Cole and Nana and to Meg as well.
Meg is awesome.
But also there's so many other names. There's so many other people within this movement that and strong personalities and gifted people. And it's almost overwhelming because you see all of this push for something so good from so many different people all over the world. I've gotten to see such great art.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
The inspiration for people to create out of this entire thing. I mean, it's awe-inspiring. And when I say I am humbled and I am grateful, that's no bullshit. I mean that because you know, it's enormous.
Absolutely. And that was the moral of the story, was when people came together finally, it was so awe-inspiring, and what turned out to, you know, for people to not really care to talk to each other turned into this single voice saying, you know, release a Snyder Cut, and we're going to raise a lot of money for charity, and we're going to do a lot of good. You know, through all the darkness, there was a little bit of light, and that's what. Well,
boy, did we need this for 2020 or what?
Yeah, seriously, absolutely.
Jesus.
Yeah, oh my God.
No, and you know, and I mean, let's just think about Cole and Nana and Meg for just a second with Justice Con. Literally from nothing, from scratch, with no help and with a hell of a lot of resistance, honestly.
Yes.
They put together a virtual con.
Yeah.
And it was huge success.
Yes.
And they just did it. I couldn't do that.
When they came
on the show, mad respect for them.
When they came on the show, I said specifically that to them. I said, just the sheer fact that you put together your own convention, just the three of you, you have all my respect. You blew my mind by doing that. The sheer force you were in the Snyder movement is insane to me.
Absolutely.
All of my respect.
It's courage, it's tenacity, it's love of a thing, and about elevating that which is positive. I mean, mad respect to them. Absolutely. Mad respect.
Absolutely. I can only hope that me and this one can do something of similar.
You know, the thing is, I think if everybody does, the world's a better place.
Yes, exactly. Agreed. Absolutely. I agree wholeheartedly.
As long as positivity is the thing.
There it is. There it is.
Did you see the shirt that Zach was like selling in order to raise money. The latest one, the white shirt with the Darkseid on it, with the lasers coming out. Oh man, so with the back.
I may have ordered 1 or 5 of those.
So Ray, can I ask you a question? Because you said you know, you love the art that comes through, and I do too. You know, so once you were able to actually officially say, I am Darkseid, did your mailbox just get flooded with fan art and you know, that must be the dopest feeling in the world.
Twitter, I'll tell you, Twitter did change for me. You know, beforehand I had a small but very appreciative group of audiobook listeners, and and it became a whole other thing.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
But I love getting tagged in, you know, things that people have created, different styles of art, and that's phenomenal. I mean, I'm a frustrated artist myself. I never could draw, and I always wanted to. So when I see the work that, I mean, you know, this and several, I mean, God, the amount my t-shirt drawer, just RIP my t-shirt drawer. All,
I love it.
To the people and like stuff like this, and
you know, I can't stress enough. Like you're playing a huge role in you know, you're Darkseid. I can't stress that enough. You know, so and I know I'm not the only fanboy geeking out.
It trips me out a little bit. It trips me out a little bit. I gotta say.
I believe it.
And we hope personally, we hope to see you back as Darkseid in the future, terrorizing all of the world.
Well, I tell you what, I'd love to. And if the fans want something done, they clearly are able to get it done, as has been demonstrated. So
power in unity.
So we're not gonna keep you. I know we had a time limit, so you know if there's any
already.
I think right.
Are we almost? Yeah, we here already. Yeah,
wow.
We are. Sort of, more or less.
Wow, right. That's a talent, honestly. Wow. I can't believe we've been here. And you think I was, you guys, bored.
You know, it's a good conversation. I appreciate it. It was fun.
Absolutely. No, we appreciate you.
And I think we had said before, you know, once maybe it gets a little bit closer to release date and all like that.
Come back.
You know, come back and do the show again. Sure. We are truly honored to have you as a friend of the show now, and
well, thank you.
You know, hopefully Darkseid will spare us amongst the world.
So
I'll let you know.
Thank you. And also,
although I do like Boston, so
okay, we're working our favor.
Okay,
I'll get you a Boston Strong T-shirt.
Yes.
And can I put a big Omega sign in Scully Square?
Yes,
absolutely.
Please.
Okay, great, good.
Just spare me.
That's
all I ask.
And as
hey, you know what? Seriously, man, as far as gratitude goes, that's on me. The fact that I get to come on things like this, talk to you guys, the fact that I have been greeted with such positivity by so many people, the fact that I feel like I'm kind of a part of this movement. You are. The fact that I'm a part of the film at all, the fact that Zach, you know, I mean, there's an endless list. Thanksgiving was a busy day for me. If I actually had to say I'm grateful for, I'd still be talking. I'm so grateful to you and to the fandom and to everybody else. And man, look what you guys did. It's getting released. It's happening. How exciting.
It's amazing.
Actually, one last question. Where were you, where were you when you had found out?
I was at home. I was sitting at home. I was sitting at home and I was watching Zach and he did that brilliant surprise that he was going to get released.
Yep.
And I did a little dance. and then about a half an hour later, I texted Zach and said, "Congratulations. I'm so pleased. Can I finally come out of the closet now as Darkseid?" He said, "Yes." So I went on Twitter and went, "Yes, hi, I played Darkseid."
I love it. I absolutely love it. I think that's the perfect way to close. Ray, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. And please, by all means, come back outside of Darkseid, outside of anything. Please come back.
Sure thing.
And we are raising money for our part in suicide prevention.
Yes.
All the links, the Autumn Snyder, the the campaign will be, the link will be below, as well as ours. It doesn't matter if you donate to either.
Good.
Or just AFSP in general, as long as you donate if you can afford to.
Yep. Spread the message. Donate what you can, please, people. It's a good cause.
Pick up some shirts on Ink to the People as well, because that money goes to AFSP and there's some great art. Yeah.
There it is. There's options galore. You know, like Drizzle said, even if it's not our specific one, you know, the money's still going to the good cause and the message is being spread.
Yep. So we will be right back in a moment. We're just gonna wish our guest well. See you in a moment. Welcome back. Sorry, I took that from you.
No, it's all right. I do intros, you do outros. No biggie.
So we're back. That was fantastic.
That was Ray Porter. That was crazy.
That was a great interview. I had a really good time.
An intergalactic villain is the nicest guy I've ever talked to in my life. Imagine that.
Right?
You know,
he was so down to earth, so
a conqueror of worlds.
so knowledgeable and so
genuine.
Down to earth.
Yeah.
I truly had a great time.
Absolutely. Time flew. I mean, if Drizzle didn't say anything, I honestly would have just kept going. Because I didn't even realize we did 40 minutes in what felt like 2. It was crazy. But it was absolutely great. Dude, I can't say it enough. Ray, thank you so much. We appreciate you, man. Please come back. I still got a solid number of questions for you. So please, if you're ever willing, you're ever bored, you got nothing going on, by all means, come see us.
Yeah. No, for sure. You're always welcome at the Pop Culture Corner.
Shit, I'll make up a new segment just to have you on. Damn.
It's funny because going into this, I was a little bit more nervous than
absolutely
any other guest that we've had so far, and it turns out he was one of the easier ones to talk to.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Simply just an all around nice person. Yeah. So I'm very, very happy. And hey, you guys heard it here. He'll be back once the Snyder Cut comes out.
Yeah, you might as well make that a contract. Like, I'm holding you legally obligated to come back and talk about the Snyder Cut with me. My laptop's on fire again. Yeah. That's not good. I will genuinely, I'd probably cry if he said, sorry, I can't do it after we watched the Snyder Cut and he says, oh, sorry, I can't come. I'd probably cry, honestly. Because everything, we didn't get, I have a bunch of more questions outside of Snyder Cut, but, everything that we couldn't talk about today, we can talk about after it actually airs, So I would absolutely love it if he came back.
Yeah, no, definitely. So, that's a wrap.
Yeah.
That's a wrap.
That was our Exposé.
That's a wrap on the Exposé.
Yeah, dude, that was a lot of fun. I like that.
Starting next week, we'll be back to the regular style. Just us boring folk.
No. We're entertaining.
We are
entertaining. I got a lot to talk about for Anime Anarchy and getting into gaming. Yeah. I got a lot on my plate for you guys. So
yeah, and we'll still have guests.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah.
When we're having guests, we'll let you know.
Yeah, of course.
It'll go. It'll jump into the same format as we did this month.
Yep.
But for the most part, it'll be Justice and I, and sometimes Jack is going to be our new producer.
Yep.
So, we got a lot going on in just a short amount of time. So
yeah.
We're excited. So did you hear that Doc Ock might be coming back?
I did.
Yes.
And I absolutely adore. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I have no idea what his name is.
Alfred Molina.
Thank you, Alfred Molina. I absolutely adored him as Professor Octavius. I think he did a fantastic job. I think he captured the character in the best way. And the only difference I would prefer outside of is the reason he became Doc Ock in Sam Raimi's is because there was a glitch, a technical malfunction in the class. Yeah. So I would prefer if the MCU didn't take that route and just kind of got you haven't played it yet, but Spider-Man PS4, Doc Ock is the main villain.
Yeah.
And the way they did his character was perfect. It was more of a him and Norman were partners back in the day, right? And Norman excuse my language, but he fucked him over, right? So him and Peter are trying to figure out how to make the claws. It was something to do with like cancer research or something, some way to be able to grab like toxic and harmful materials without, you know, hurting yourself. You use the claws to grab them, whatever. And as down the line, vengeance kind of took over Doc Ock, right? Because Norman Osborn, he runs for mayor, he wins. He's, you know, he runs Ops Corp, so he's this big billionaire mayor of New York City now. So jealousy and vengeance is what drives him, and he knows, although throughout the entire game, he knows Peter is Spider-Man. Because he's, you know, he's just smart like that. And, you know, every time they're working together, Peter has to run out the door for whatever reason. Oh, sorry, my mom's calling me. I got to go out the door. Well, Spider-Man doesn't have a mom, but you know what I mean. And so I like that more. I like when there's actually fault in Doc Ock. It's not just some technical malfunction. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
No, that's great. That's great. And, you know, if they bring him back and it's Sam Raimi's version.
Yeah. Acceptable. I'm still happy.
Acceptable, yeah.
I'm still happy. Absolutely.
And that's, I mean, when they say reprise role, technically they'll be bringing it back.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it could also be a multiverse version of him.
Very
that
true.
doesn't necessarily, you know, it's the same guy, same actor,
Yep.
same, but maybe a different origin.
Yeah, so it's the same guy, and they look alike because they are the same person, but he's from a multiverse.
Right.
So yeah, absolutely. I'm honestly, I'm assuming that's what it's gonna be for Electro. I don't think he's gonna be the exact same character from Amazing Spider-Man. I think it's gonna be exactly what you just said, a multiverse version of him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so for those of you who don't know, you know, we've talked about this before, but
Yep.
Spider-Man 3 will feature Doctor Strange.
Yep.
And something's going to happen, and they'll be pulling these multiverse versions of characters. So Jamie Foxx's Electro
Yep.
will be in it.
Toby's looking like a real possibility.
Maybe.
I keep hearing about it. It won't go away. It's looking like a real possibility.
Maybe. Maybe even Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man.
Yep.
Who knows what the future has for us.
Yep.
Because of the fact that,
Multiverse.
you know, DC and Marvel are now going down the multiverse path.
Yep.
So at least, you know, old properties that were, you know, collecting dust and
Yep.
they were done
Yep.
are now being brought back as
Yep.
almost fan service or
nostalgia,
whatever you want to call it. You know, they're making old properties relevant again,
Yep.
which I don't think is a bad thing.
No, not
but
necessarily.
it could get to murky waters.
Yeah, I guess it depends on how you use them, right, and how much you use them. If it's good for, like, the nostalgia only runs its course for so long, right? You can only, like, nostalgia is really good for, like, oh, hey, I remember that, that's great, and then that's the end of it, not, like, 3 movies in, like, oh, Toby's back again, wow, I'm so excited. You see what I'm saying?
Yes. There's only so much wow factor.
Exactly.
Before they're like, okay, well, he's just a character now.
Yeah,
know,
so
he's
why
just-
is he still here?
Yeah.
You know?
So that's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out.
Yeah.
Also, we had talked about Linda Carter being in the Flashpoint movie. So
Same difference.
Same difference.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot going on in these upcoming films.
Yeah, no, I honestly, the only other time I can recall things being like this, like crazy speculations is Infinity War. Remember before Infinity War, everybody was like, oh, Abomination's coming back, this one's coming back, that one's coming back. Everybody, you know, that was the only other time I've ever, like questioning, like, who's gonna, you know what I mean? How many different, like, old properties we'll see.
Yeah, and then it turns out really none.
Yeah,
Infinity
Red
War,
Skull,
at least.
that's it.
Yeah, Red Skull, yeah.
Imagine if DC does the same thing to us in Flashpoint. That's it. We only get Keaton, and he's there for like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
That's it. All that speculation for nothing.
Yep. So, you know, when are you planning on getting your PlayStation?
Christmas. I'm not getting until Christmas, and you're not getting a review for at least 2 weeks after.
You're not.
You're not. I'm sorry. No. Because
No exclusive.
I'm getting it. I'm gonna play Miles Morales. I'm gonna play Miles Morales and Godfall right off rip. Right. I'm gonna get every last anything you could possibly think of in these games. I'm gonna get a real good feel for this console. Then I'm gonna do a very in-depth review of it. I don't want to half-ass this for you guys. I want to be on point with everything I say. I want to have a real understanding of this console and these games before I give you your review. So expect that, like the first week of January, something along those lines. I know it's a long time, but it's going to be worth it because I like to take my time with things.
Okay. And do you have any ideas for next week's anime topics?
So same thing. I've been binging Black Clover, and I would like to go into depth about that show. I know it has a solid fan base. I would like to go. I know I've brought it up in the past already, but I'm going to go into in depth. By the time next week comes around, I will be at the end of season 2, I believe. So I will have plenty to talk about and just give you guys a rundown. And then there's also a couple of shows I just want to mention. I haven't started to watch yet. I don't really understand yet, but I want to mention and shout out because I know they are good shows, and I want to, give you guys some recommendations.
Okay. Yeah. So we still have a lot to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh,
still have a lot to do.
Yeah, nothing's changed, guys. We're still on the grind, baby.
Yep.
We're always here for you.
His Dark Materials started up, and so this show, if you like that like sci-fi Harry Potter-esque, it's its own thing, but it's based on the novels by Philip Pullman.
Okay.
They made a movie about it in 2007 called The Golden Compass.
Okay, I remember that movie. I haven't seen it, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so this show is based on the same novel that The Golden Compass was.
Okay.
And The Golden Compass flopped.
Okay.
The visuals were there, but the heart and the story was not.
Okay.
This show does a tremendous job about balancing everything.
Okay, all right. And this is completely outside of The Golden Compass, has nothing to do with it? Outside of source material?
Outside of source material has nothing to do with it.
All right.
It's the same basis, though.
Okay.
And it is phenomenal. So I've switched from doing Supernatural because Supernatural ended.
Yep.
And I am starting. It was a toss-up between Mandalorian and His Dark Materials. I feel like the market is oversaturated with Mandalorian reviews.
It is. I think
and
that's
nobody is doing His Dark Materials.
Exactly. And I think that's why your Supernatural was doing as well as it was, because you were damn near the only one doing specific reviews for it. It's the grand finale, and you have the passion. You're a real fan of the show. You've been a fan for years and years and years.
Day one.
Yes, and I think that's why you caught the attention, and that's why it was doing so well, because the passion's there, and you're original about it. You know what I mean?
Yep. And so I'm going to doing the same thing with His Dark Materials, because I love that show. And
there it is.
It's truly... You should watch it, man. I mean, it's.
I don't have the time. Anime takes up all my time.
Yeah, it's only 8 episodes for the first season, and then we're only 2 into the second. Okay. But it's really, really good. One day in the future. There's lots of time, but it's a remarkable show, and so Daphne Keane, who played, she played in Wolverine, Logan. She was the girl in Logan.
Which one? Not Laura.
Yeah.
X-23?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, okay.
She played her.
Oh.
So that girl's the main character.
Oh, okay.
And her name is Lyra.
Yeah. That's weird. Her name's Lyra.
So her name's Lyra in His Dark Materials. Huh. And they live in a world where each person has an animal avatar with them. Okay. So it's a piece of you. It's your soul embodied.
Okay. Like your spirit animal?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. I said that in my first episode.
Okay.
So it's like your spirit animal. And when you're going through puberty, or like when you're a kid, it's ever changing.
Huh.
So
but it will remain the same species?
Nope. So it'll go from an alligator to a snake.
Okay.
Once you hit puberty and become an adult, it settles on an animal or a species, and that's your... You know what I mean? So when you're a kid, it could be a snake, a frog, a cat, a dog, whatever.
Imagine getting something lame like a chipmunk, like a pigeon.
There's this thing called the magisterium, right? Yeah. And they're like the Catholic Church.
Yep.
And they run the world.
Yep.
They have armies. All the police and authority are magisterium.
Okay. All
the magisteriums, they're all like beetles.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, because they're trash people.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
So you can tell what a person is like by by looking at they call them demons, spelled Daemon.
Okay, all right.
But the show is tremendous.
That's an interesting concept, though. I could dig that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's really, really cool.
I like that concept.
There's talking polar bears.
Anything with talking animals, I'm down. But I like the concept because it would be cool to see what kind of personality trait. Like, we know, like, you can, like, guess what a lion would be like, or like a shark or something like that, or like a dog. You could guess that, right? But, like, when you get to more obscure animals like peacocks and you know, hedgehogs and what kind of personality that lies in, you know,
right.
That's when it gets interesting. So that's a cool do they do animals like that? Do you see obscure animals?
Yeah, like for some people.
Yeah.
But I mean,
is it mostly like?
Yeah, but we haven't explored. Like we only know so many people at this point. So,
yep. Fair point. Yep. See, so that's funny. So
and most of the characters in it, sorry to cut you off, are
good.
kids.
Yep.
So their demons are always changing.
Okay.
So you don't get this because the main characters are all younger.
Yep.
But the world they live in is dangerous and it's full of adults and so you do get it's a mix. Like that's why I bring up Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Because it's like kids.
Yep.
But the world they live in is just as dangerous as any.
Yeah.
So
it reminds me. It sounds interesting because it reminds me of the show I'm currently watching with the whole animal thing and finding out different like animals and what kind of attributes that comes with. Same thing with Black Clover. So in Black Clover, magic is just a normal thing amongst humans, right? And everybody. Like, it's never explained how it's chosen, but, like, once you hit about 13, 14, you get what's called a grimoire, right? And it's your spell book. And it doesn't, like, they never explain, like, who is choosing you, like, how the grimoire chooses you, or, like, anything like that. It just comes to you. And it's cool to see. So they've introduced us already to at least 100 different characters. Ooh. Easy. Right?
And by season 2?
By the first like 10 episodes, you're already mad deep into it. And everybody has different specific magic. It's all based off of the four basic elements: fire, water, earth, air, right? But then there's all different kinds of variations. For example, if you use glass magic, it would be some kind of earth attribute, right?
Right.
So everybody has this different specific kind of magic, and it's really cool to see everybody's different styles, because even say me and you both use fire, our fire will be completely different in every way, shape, and form, you know? So it's really cool to see everybody's different attributes and magic and styles, and same difference with your show with the animals and stuff. It's cool to see all the different types. I love stuff like that. That's why I was so into Pokemon for so long, you know?
I can't say enough good things about it.
Yeah, don't.
So, not to like spoil anything for you.
Yep.
But in the latest episode of Mandalorian, you find out Baby Yoda's actual name.
Really?
Yes.
Which is?
Grogu.
So he's not Yoda.
He's not
Called
Yoda.
Called it.
But
No. I didn't call it. Damn it. I was wrong.
Yeah,
Yoda. No, I did. I said what I said is, well, he still might be. What I said, he might be a reincarnation. Which
I know. I was gonna say to you.
Yeah.
You're not out of the box yet.
I forgot.
You said
that he might be a reincarnation.
Which Ahsoka Tano tells us that she's only ever met one like him.
Yes.
And
which is
Yoda.
Yeah.
So, they haven't explored the waters too deep.
Yeah.
But he responds to Grogu.
Okay.
She talks to him through the mind.
Oh, shit. Well, because she's the first other Force user we've seen in the show.
Right?
Yeah.
So they're communicating, but like no one's talking.
Interesting.
So
I might have to start watching again because I really like her as a character. She in the Clone Wars, we talked about this in the intro, but in the Clone Wars she was great. So I might have to start watching this show again.
Yeah. No. It's truly it was. I mean, this week's episode was amazing.
Okay. All right. Big moves from Disney Plus.
Yeah, you sit down and like. Right from the get-go. Right, you don't even know who's going to be in the episode yet. The way it starts off, all of a sudden you just see two lightsabers. You don't see who's wielding them.
Yeah.
But they just...
Yep.
And then, like, slicing people's heads off.
That's
and
dope.
You're like, yeah.
Yeah, well, you haven't seen lightsabers yet. You saw the Darksaber. That's it, though.
Right,
so this is, she's the first, like, Jedi to be in the show. So, yeah, that's dope.
And so there's a fan theory going around that Moff Gideon
Yep.
is going to be
A Sith?
Snoke.
Oh.
So they'll end up using his body
to be Snoke. Interesting.
However, I don't know.
Yeah. We'll
It
see.
could be interesting.
But I think that's a fair theory because, I feel like Moff, you would have heard from him in these other movies at some point because the way Mandalorian takes him off, he's like a real threat, a real big part of, what is it, the New Order, right? It's not the Empire, but it's the New Order, correct?
No.
At this time,
New Order. No, so the Empire has just fallen. So the New Order hasn't risen. Has not risen.
Okay,
yet.
all right. So everybody in Mandalorian is just leftover Empire.
Empire. Correct.
All right. Okay.
The First Order, I should say. Sorry.
Yes. First Order. Yes. Thank you.
So, what was I gonna say? I was watching Lightcast.
Yeah.
Friends of the show.
Friends.
I like being able to say that.
Yep, I love it. We have friends.
And they were talking about SnyderCut release dates.
Okay.
And it's looking like either September 2021 or March 2021.
I'm hoping for the latter. I would prefer sooner.
Would be
better.
Dope.
Better, because it's looking like everybody's going back into lockdown, so we could really, really, really use that.
Yes.
First thing in the year. Well, it's still cold and this is going around still.
Yeah. And March would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Because that's my birthday.
Oh, look at that.
That's Logan's birthday.
That's a month after mine.
That's Quick Sniff's birthday. Quick Sniff. I miss him. He's at Mama's house today.
I'm so mad I didn't get to see my dog this week.
Yeah, he's at Mama's house.
Yeah, that'd be absolutely great because then we'll have WandaVision should still be going around that time. I hope, anyways. We'll probably not. No, probably not.
6 or 7 episodes.
So yeah, all right. So then we definitely need it then at that time because we're not gonna get really anything until minimum summer of next year. So I would much prefer if you guys release it in March. I feel like that's gonna be their angle, so they can be the first ones to be releasing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Try to beat everybody to the punchline.
Also, there was something happened at Marvel. I don't know if this is true. I don't know. So apparently a conversation got leaked. And in this conversation, which I can't find anywhere now, so it kind of leads me to believe that it might be, the release date for Falcon and Winter Soldier was in there, as well as a bunch of other ones. So I'm trying to find it. I didn't get to see any of it, so I don't know what the details of it were. So more on that later.
If we can find it.
If we can find. I'm sure someone knows something. So it's just a matter of about me finding those people. And then we can figure that out. Because I'm interested to see, what might be a release date for Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Because that's really the show that I'm looking forward to.
Really?
Most. Yeah. WandaVision is my close second.
Yeah.
Loki.
No,
I've seen enough of Loki.
Yeah.
I really have.
Yeah. I'm WandaVision all the way, just for the simple fact. Now we're on the same boat when it comes to Winter Soldier, the movie. I absolutely adore that movie. I love it.
Almost my number one.
But I'm more on the mystical side of things, so I think WandaVision will hit just a tad bit more than Winter Soldier and Falcon does. Just a tad bit.
Those are my 1 and 2.
Yeah,
but
most definitely.
Mine are reversed to compare to yours.
But it is. It's very, very close. Very close.
Yeah. So more on that.
Yeah. So as as always, as details come in, we'll keep feeding you guys everything we get. Most of it's speculation still, but every time we confirm anything, we'll let you know ASAP. And we'll continue to do what we do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's it for the week.
We do it for you.
I mean, I really, I'm okay with getting back into the groove of the regular show.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
No, I'm looking forward to it. I miss doing my segments. I'm looking forward to it. I love having guests, but I miss my segments. So
it's been interesting.
Yeah, it has. It's been a hell of a roller coaster.
And we're gonna leave that donation up for a couple extra days.
Yes.
Through the end of the month, maybe a couple days after that. So if you can afford to. Please. We're not asking for all your money.
Yeah.
But maybe $1, $2 here and there.
And it's not even us. Like, it's not going to us.
Yeah,
you know, we get nothing out of it. It's for a good cause. I'm sure it's somebody somewhere. Suicide's affected all of us in some way, shape, or form, right? And even if it hasn't, if you have a single ounce of empathy and sympathy in your body, then this should hit you in the heart, right? Again, I've said it a million times. If you don't have the money, I understand, but spreading the message, honestly, you have no excuse. You have no excuse not to spread the message. So please do that.
All right, guys. So we do have a special,
little special,
an extra. No, an extra show tomorrow.
Special.
Yeah. We have a special show tomorrow. That'll air sometime throughout this week.
Yeah. Probably Monday, Tuesday, maybe.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I just want to leave it spread out a little bit.
Yeah.
So we'll be recording it tomorrow.
Yep.
But just stay tuned. I'll air it throughout the week.
Yep.
So Film Junkies, Dave Penn will be joining us.
Booyah.
And we'll get that out to you guys as soon as possible.
Word up.
So stay tuned, join us, and I will see you next time.
We do it for you. We do it for the culture. Booyah.